All right. Welcome everyone to Township Tuesday. If you haven't been here before, my name is Maddie Cash. I'm an attorney with the Association of Townships. And I just talk about important topics that have been coming up a lot, first and third Tuesday of the month. So thank you for joining us. Today, I'm going to start by introducing our newest member of MAT, which is Michael. He is our training manager. So give him a warm welcome. Michael, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you. I'm glad to be on.
So he will be working with our trainers, and he's just kind of getting to know the information right now, but he will be a good contact in the future for those kinds of trainer questions. And so you'll be working with him closely. He'll be with us on spring short courses. So if you're coming to those, you'll get some FaceTime with him as well. So welcome, Michael. Don't scare him away. No.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And then Lisa has some announcements with Matt as well. So I'll let her jump in here too.
Thank you, Maddie. And he is a great asset to Matt, you guys. He is wonderful, very knowledgeable. Big smile on his face every day. So welcome again. For the Matt, we have been busy with the work comp surveys. Thank you for everyone that has completed it. One of the biggest questions that we are getting is to how to upload this from CTAS. So Anita, this is where you guys come in. Thank you. So if you could just touch base when it just how to do that, that'd be great. But otherwise, you guys are doing wonderful getting the audits in. They are due by February 15th of 2026. The feedback that we received is very easy process, just taking it from the CTAS and so other than that, if you guys do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We are available. It's been busy, so when people, please either leave a voicemail and or send an email. We have staff that are working the email during business hours, and that is maddetinsurance@mntownship.org. Some of the questions that coming up, who do we send this to? The clerk is our primary contact. And big percentage, they do have an email, so we send it to the clerk. And then if there's a treasurer with an email. So if you guys have not updated your emails, you can do in multiple ways. You can send it to maddetinsurance@mntownships.org. We do work closely with Matt, obviously. We are partners. We can communicate with them. So you don't have to go on the info line and then do it online and then send it to us because once it comes into the building, we are communicating to the people that need it. So again, update those emails and contacts if you have a new clerk, supervisors, and or treasurers. Please, again, you guys can mail paper copies into us. We definitely prefer you to do it online. We don't want to charge fees, etc. But if you need help, we can walk you through it. We can seriously on the phone, enter the numbers, hit submit, and you guys are good to go. Um, this we have also sent out the certificate of coverage for the bonds. If you have not received it, please let us know. Otherwise, we're just very busy with questions. And again, we work closely with the trainers as well. And thank you, Anita. I was trying to message you before we got on this call. If you could just do a quick overview on how to get those W-2s downloaded, because that's the biggest question that's coming up on our end. And with short courses coming up, we hope to see a lot of the familiar faces in the next, what is it, March already? Hopefully it'll warm up a little bit because it is cold. So,
Lisa, before Anita takes over, you have a question in the chat.
oh, thank you. Give me one question. Oh, thank you. You have a solution to upload from CTAS? That is the question that came up, I believe, and keep me honest, trainers. Are you guys saving them onto your laptop? Or how is this being handled? Anita, maybe you can answer that one. You're on mute.
Mute. Yes, once you file your W-2s, you can save them to your laptop. You can save them to a flash drive. If you use a business services online, that gives you the official form. CTES will also print them out on W-2s, and you can also save them on your computer, but they will not be on an official form. But you will use the W-2s, and the W-3 you'll have to scan in the official form and send it to Lisa. So there isn't a direct connection between the two.
There isn't. Okay, so they would just have to save a copy from CTAS on their, okay, that's great.
Yep.
Oh, that was the biggest question that's been coming up, how to pull it from CTAS. So just W-2 scan, attach it to the file. All right, thank you, Anita.
Great. All right. Well, thanks everyone. I will get started with our Township Tuesday stuff. Before I dive into the topic for today, which is paid leave, which I'm sure you're all kind of sick of hearing me talk about, but I'm going to talk about a new subject today. Township Day at the Capitol is coming up. It's on March 2nd. It's a free event. It's a one-day event. So I really encourage you all to get down there. Make our voices heard. Townships are small, and that's kind of the beauty of them, but it's really important that we work together as a group to make sure that legislators hear what our needs are and pay attention to us. So the bigger the group, the better. And we really encourage you all to go down there. I know it can be intimidating to talk to legislators, but we have scripts for you. We have speakers, we have trainings. We'll set up the meetings for you. We can go to the meetings with you. So it's really not intimidating once you get down there. It's really the idea of it that's more scary. So I really encourage you guys to do that. It's a good way to not only see the Capitol and see things be getting done, but also communicate with your representatives on what your needs are and what those look like for the townships. Other than that, we have spring short courses coming up. Those are March 16th through April 3rd. The dates are on our website and the locations and stuff like that for your area. So I encourage you to attend those too. It's a great way to meet us, meet your fellow township officers in your area, and get some really good information. Question in the chat. I want to mention security concerns sending W-2s via email since they have SSNs on them and email isn't secure. Yeah, thank you. That's a really great point, Becky. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to dive into more paid leave fun. Here, let me share my screen with you all. All right, so you should be able to see my screen here. It is, we're going to talk about paid leave policies. So I'm not going to cover reporting today because I've talked about that a lot. So if you have questions on reporting or things like that, you can certainly reach out to me. But I'm going to be covering a different topic today, which is setting a paid leave policy. Now, this is recommended by paid leave to do. It's not a requirement statutorily, but it just kind of helps you implement paid leave if one of your employees were to request for time off. And kind of figure out what that would look like for your township and how you would implement that. So that's what I'm going to go through today. As a general overview, Minnesota paid leave, I know you've heard about this before, but I'm just going to touch on it in case there's somebody here who's unfamiliar with it. It's a mandatory statewide insurance program created by the legislature. It's administered by deed. It provides a partial wage replacement for eligible employees who take medical or family leave. Now, townships are employers under the statute. Our participation is not optional. Hold on, I got a question from the chat. Do not send W-2, just W-3. Use information of W-2 to fill them out. Oh, yeah, that's from Anita. Thanks, Anita. Yeah. So like I said, townships are covered employers under the statute. There is no opt-out option. Our participation is required. So I know it feels silly for small townships. You say, we don't have a lot of employees. We don't have a lot of options for giving employees paid leave, things like that. But under the statute, we are required to follow these rules. So it's something that you need to pay attention to. The law does give some discretion on how paid leave is funded and certain types of structure within paid leave. So that's what I'm going to walk through today. Your township, generally your role as a township is to have reporting your employees' wages, paying their premiums to the state, deciding how much, if any, of that premium is withheld from your employees, setting internal policies on notice, supplemental pay, intermittent leave, and those kinds of things, and then communicating those policies clearly and consistently to your employees. Now, again, these policies are not required by law, but without them, it will just default to the regular language within the statute. So, focus on premium cost sharing. So whether you want to cost share those premiums with your employees or not, and how to do that. And then also intermittent leave policies and what that looks like. Now, this is all in Minnesota Statute 268B. If you want some light reading tonight before bed, you can certainly look that up and rummage through it, and it'll explain all of this as well. But that's where you'll find this in statute. Right. Paid leave benefits. Medical leave is for a person's their own serious medical condition. Family leave is to care for a family member, bond with a child, address military leave, or respond to certain safety issues. So those are two different kinds of leave. Now, employees can receive up to 12 weeks of medical leave and up to 12 weeks of family leave. However, they can only receive a combined maximum of 20 weeks in any benefit year. So they can't receive the 24 weeks, they can only receive 20. Gussie, I saw you added a document into the chat. Can you explain what that is?
Yes, I did download that. I'm hoping that people be able to grab that. It's actually was created by the trainers. It is small township, large township, smaller employer, over 30 and under 30. It's a graph of the percentages. It doesn't give all of them, but it's a great guide for anybody who's looking for help on what are they going to pay, what's their percentage going to be.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. I'll go through premium percentage sharing and that kind of thing in a minute too here, so that will be useful in that section. But just an overarching explaining of the benefits. So they can take 12 weeks medical, 12 weeks family leave, and a combined of 20 weeks. They're paid by the state, not by the township. You pay the premiums, but the benefits replace only a portion of the wages based on a statutory formula, which I won't dive into too much here. Your financial impact will be premium costs and reporting requirements and kind of operational challenges if someone were to take leave. So premiums, what do those look like? I went with a game show theme today because I've been watching a lot of Game Show Network. But premiums, required premiums, Minnesota Leave is funded by these premiums through the payroll paid by employees, including townships, and optionally the employees. The statute sets a maximum employee contribution rate and then allows employers to choose how much of the premium they absorb as well. So the premium rate right now is at 0.88% of employees' wages. Employers can withhold up to 0.44 of an employee's wages to help pay for that premium, or they can accept it all. The employers can choose to pay for some or all of that amount themselves. I've noticed many townships have been covering 100% of the premium themselves. So That's just a trend I've noticed. If your township wants to do something else, that is perfectly fine as well. That is up to you. Now, township options for setting premiums and splitting premiums. So your board must make a policy decision regarding premium sharing. A lot of townships have already done this, and that's fine. But you have options on what these approaches look like. So first, the employee pays the full amount. The township or the employee withdraws the full amount that they can from the employer's paycheck. So the township withholds the statutory maximum, which would be 0.44%. And that must be clearly communicated to employees when you're doing that. So the second option is shared costs between township employees. Maybe you are doing somewhere between that 0.44% and 0% withholding from the employee. That's fine too. And then the third option is paying the full premium. Now, like Gussie said, there is an option, a different option for small employers, which I will get to next here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I heard a voice. Yes, so there is an option for small employers. Some townships will fit into it, some won't. But this is just the overall statutory requirement in general. I'll go over the exceptions next. We have a sample resolution on our website just covering this option in general. It is under our employment section. I believe it is the last document in our employment section in our information library. It's E1100, I think, but it is the last option there. So if I'm wrong about the number, I apologize. All right, small employer considerations. If you're a small employer, you need to pay particular attention to this because under the paid leave law, small employers are eligible for premium credits and assistance to reduce the financial impact of it. Generally, a small employer is defined in statute by an employer with fewer than 30 employees. This means that at no point throughout the year you reported more than 30 employees who are making wages that are less than 150% of the statewide average wage. So if that is you, then you can qualify for premium credits, and these credits are intended to offset the costs for small employers. So the program details are administered by deed. So if you have questions with it, that's always a really good spot to start. Obviously, you can ask me. And if I don't know the answer or it's something that only deed can answer, then I will point you to them too. But that is who you want to reach out to if you are having trouble logging in or reporting or getting any of this information. They are the administrators. So they have a lot of that information. But for a smaller employee, premium costs may be partially offset depending on the workforce size and wages. Oh, shoot, I don't have a direct phone number for deed or paid leave. It is on their website. I can look it up really quick after this and I can send it to you, but I don't have it on hand. I'm sorry. Okay, Gussie's got it. Oh, I missed a question. Perhaps you could review a difference between paid leave and earned sick and safe time, which I believe is administered internally, perhaps on a different Township Tuesday. I do have, there was a Township Tuesday previously that I already went over kind of the differences between those and what those look like. And if you email me, I'd be happy to send you that presentation so you can take a look at that. Or I can explain it further if you have questions too. Okay, so small employers. So employees generally must pay 50% of the premium. We already talked about that, but small employers can pay a reduced premium rate if they have that 30 or fewer employees that are making less than 150% of the statewide average weekly wage. If that's you, then you must pay a minimum of 25% of the set premium rate. That reduces the small employer premium rate for 2026 to 0.66% of employees' wages. So employers can collect up to 0.44% of the premium from its employees still, and the employer would then pay the remaining 0.22%. If you are unsure if you're eligible for that, you can always contact Deed. Gussie put the numbers in there as well for more information. Okay, question in the chat. There is a piece of understanding I do not understand. In the corporate world, many employers provide short-term and long-term disability coverage, which would seem to be like this coverage. Has that insurance, short or long-term, now become archaic? How different are these coverages? So my understanding is if you have so in the corporate world, if there is already a paid leave program that is similar to this, then you can work with Deed to get permission to use that program instead, to use that insurance instead. You have to apply for that. And I'm not aware of townships who have that same experience, but there is an option for those kind of corporate entities too. Okay, so smaller employees can decide to pay 0.22% of the remaining premium and then assign 0.44% to be removed from the employee's wages too. So if that's you and you need more information on that, you can certainly reach out. I know it's kind of confusing with all these percentages and numbers being thrown at you. So please let me know if you have questions and I can send you more information. But when setting your policy, your premium policy, deciding how much that you want to cost share with your employees, you want to consider predictability of costs in your employees' relationships, equity amongst township relationships, administrative bandwidth, how much is this going to cause a lot of confusion within your administrative policies, and then long-term sustainability if it's going to affect your budget. Overall, once you decide, you should document it in writing, which is why we have the sample resolution there for you to use. Apply it uniformly to all of your employees and review it periodically if you want to change it. You can't change it ad hoc. You can't decide, oh, this doesn't work for this person, so we're going to change it for this person this time. Question in the chat, does this cover all employees, supervisors, as well as hourly? Yes. It covers all employees. The definition of employee under the paid leave law is very, very broad. If you think you have someone who might not qualify for this, let me know, but it is extremely broad. Okay. I thought I got a question in the chat, but I didn't. All right, so I'm going to move on to notice requirements. So specifically what the law allows townships to require from their employees before they take paid leave. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about notice requirements, what kind of policy you would set to say, okay, we require you give us this information before you take the leave. The paid leave statute expressly allows employees to set reasonable notice and call out requirements as long as those requirements follow the statute. So if an employee's need for paid leave is foreseeable, they're pregnant, for example, then the employee must provide at least 30 days advance notice before the leave begins. Or if it's some other foreseeable injury, something along those lines. The law also recognizes that not all injuries are foreseeable or can be planned in advance. So in that case, the employee must give notice as soon as practicable. So within a day after the injury happens or they are aware of this need to take leave. So what you want to decide as a township is who receives these notices, who's going to be the person who takes in this information from your employees, whether it's a clerk, a designated supervisor, or other designated contact, how the township prefers that the notice is given, whether it's email or written request form, verbally. Keep in mind the statute is really broad on how these notices must be provided. So it really allows notice be provided in many forms, including just oral notice. But if you would prefer some kind of written request, you want to make sure you have that in writing. And then timing expectations. So say when it's practicable, or within 30 days if it's something that is foreseeable. Now, this notice does not mean that the township approves or denies paid leave. That decision is done by the state through the paid leave program. So you guys aren't the ones who are deciding whether they can take the leave or not. The purpose of these notice requirements is operational planning on your end, which is critical when you have small staff. Question in the chat, it can be denied. I suppose that is up to paid leave. If they deny if someone is claiming an injury that doesn't exist or something along those lines, I'm not sure. But your job isn't to accept or deny the claim for paid leave. There is also a requirement that they make a certain amount of money in order to create an account to receive these benefits. So it could be denied on that aspect too. All right. Intermittent leave. Now, if you're going through the paid leave website, you'll see there is kind of like an employer's guidebook or step-by-step. Here's what you should be doing as an employer. And one of those is setting an intermittent leave policy. So I'm going to just walk through what that is, because I've had a few people reach out and say, do I need to do this? What is this? How important is this? So I'm just going to give you the option if it's something that you guys are interested in or want to do. So you just have some awareness and background. So what is intermittent leave? Question in the chat. For medical, is it also dependent on the medical documentation, whether they are approved or denied? I can't recall what kind of requirements they need to submit. I believe they need to have some sort of information from a medical doctor confirming that there is an issue, but I don't know. That wouldn't be you. That would be the state who works with them on that. But I can dive into that and respond to that later too, if you want to email me. But I would have to take a look at the statutes on what they have to submit in order to qualify for a claim. I just don't recall that off the top of my head. Okay, intermittent leave. What is it? So it is basically leave taken in a non-continuous block of time. So a person can take leave for a few hours or days or weeks, depending on their injury. So the statute allows for this intermittent leave, but gives employers some control over how it's structured if you choose. So employers can set a minimum increment of leave, which means that they would have, say, the smallest increment of time that can be used for leave. This can be anywhere from 1 minute to 1 day. So the maximum minimum you can set is 1 day. But you can say that they can take it for a minute as well. So it's up to you. Obviously, this should reflect your realities of when you need staffing and what that looks like, and be documented in a policy. Now, by statute, the employees have up to 480 hours of paid leave intermittently per benefit year, which is that 12 weeks or 40 hours a week. Now, if a person wants additional intermittent leave, that's where a policy comes in handy. So they have that 480 hours of intermittent leave. That's statutory. Now, and if an employee qualifies for more than that, they want more of this intermittent leave, then they can take it up to that 20-week maximum, but the employee can decide whether they are required to take that as one continuous block. So if you choose to limit that intermittent leave to 480 hours, then that limit must be included in a written policy. And the employees must be informed when they're requesting intermittent leave. So they must be aware that this policy exists. The employees always retain the right to take that intermittent leave. The employees always remain the right to take that remaining leave continuously when they are eligible to do so. So you can't prevent them from taking that second part of the leave, but you can require them to take it as one continuous block rather than just more intermittent leave. Okay, communication. When an employee requests intermittent leave, you should discuss the proposed schedule. Confirm that minimum increment of leave, whether it's a day or an hour, whatever that may be, and remind that employee of their 480-hour limit. It's really about setting expectations with your employees and not denying them of those statutory requirements. Okay. Overall, key takeaways. I know this is a lot of information. Paid leave in general is a lot of information. So if you want to have further conversations with me about it, I'm happy to do that, whether it's over the phone or email. But today, to conclude this presentation, I just want you guys to remember that paid leave is mandatory, but you do have some employer-controlled options. And then your township board must make clear decisions on premium sharing and the intermittent leave structure and what that looks like. You want to consider whether you're a small employer, whether that matters to you. Sometimes small employers still choose to pay 100% of the premium, so it won't make a difference whether they consider themselves a small employer or not. But if that is something that's important to you, you want to consider whether you meet those requirements. And then all decisions that you make obviously should be adopted by board action, clearly written into policy, and communicated consistently with your employees. As always, proactive planning is going to reduce confusion in the future. So even if it's something maybe that you don't deem necessary now, it might be important down the road when somebody does decide to take this kind of leave, and you'll have a policy on hand to help you decide what that looks like. So as always, my name is Maddie Cash. This is my email. You can always call me as well, and we can talk through this more. But that is really all I have for you today. And let me see if I can stop sharing my screen. Yes, Gussie, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Could you kind of clarify the resolution for the paid leave resolution? I think maybe the number might have been the wrong number, or maybe I heard it wrong. EL 1100, because that's an election resolution.
Oh, it's E 1100.
Okay, thank you very much. I must have gotten it incorrect.
I think it is. It's the last document in the employment section. So I think that's E 1100, but I could be wrong about the number. But I know it's the last document in there. And if you can't find it, I can always email it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have. I hope. Oh, I have another question. We pay in advance whether anyone uses it or not. Yes, so it's paying premiums for an insurance policy.
Okay, I looked, I didn't see it there, Maddie, but we can always put it, I'll ask Leslie if you can send it to me to put it on the homepage at the website. Does that make sense?
I just saw it the other day. It is, yeah, E 1100 paid leave sample resolution. I just pulled it up.
Okay, Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I can email anyone who can't find it too. So let me know. All right. I hope you all have a great week. Oh, another question. Does it make a difference that our supervisors are only paid twice a year? So nope, you still have to report the wages. Please lobby to reduce the burdensome benefits. This has been a topic that is popular to discuss. I know that we are working with lobbyists and legislators to talk about how this affects townships. So, but as always, I always appreciate all of your input. And really, I think it's so important for your representatives to hear from you too. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? The more you ring their phones, the more they'll understand how burdensome this is. So,
Do you have time for me to add a couple of things here? If you,
yeah, please go ahead.
and I'm sorry, I'm going to get off the paid leave topic and actually go to UEI. Okay, there is some new information on UEI, and what I'm going to tell you all is, let's see if I can drop a couple of things in here that you're going to look for. There are some new ways to contact the UEI update. Don't look at the scam stuff that's coming that says that you are clear. You're never going to have to renew your UEI. That's not true. That's a scam. So I want you all to be aware of that. Let me pull up UEI stuff here. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to throw a couple of things, couple of PDFs in there. The new walkthrough and the tips from the Secretary of State's office. And I hope that helps everybody. Okay, there's one. And let me find the other one here. It's a screenshot, and let me do the tips. Okay, those should help you all. Remember, every year you have to renew the UEI. Every year, township I talked to had gotten that scam, did not renew. Now they have to start from scratch. So thanks for letting me throw that in there, Maddie. Appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. Reno, do you have a question?
Maddie, would you please send that resolution to me? I'm sorry, but I've been doing the search engine and everything else, and for some reason I just can't pull
Of
it up.
course.
Thanks.
I have gotten several people saying that they can't pull it up, which is so strange because I can. So I don't, it must be an issue with our website, and I'll work with Leslie to try
I
to figure
can't,
that out, but I'll send
I
it to
can't
you.
either. I can't either. It won't pull up on mine either. So
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
I get everything but that. Thanks.
Something's going on. I'll try to figure that out, whatever that is. Okay, so there is a question in the chat. Says if your supervisors are only paid meeting stipend, how do you report it? If your treasurer and clerk have a stipend and meeting stipend, how do you report that? So I know that you report hourly wages. If you didn't pay any wages, then there wouldn't be anything to report. But I would work with Deed, call the paid leave program, and see how they want you to report that, because they're used to employees that have to be paid once every 31 days, right? They're not used to what elected officials look like. So I would work with them to make sure that you're doing it properly and how they want you to report it, because they're the ones who would be administering this kind of stuff. All right, so we got the Gussie thing figured out. I will send the sample resolution to Reno and then Crystal Bay Township. And if anybody else can't find it in the meantime, when I try to get it up on the website and try to figure out what that bug is, send me an email as well. Okay, I see you, Pat. I'll send it to you too. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy this really cold weather and stay inside and sit around the fire, because that's what I'll be doing.
thanks for all your help, Maddie.
Yep. Okay, Vicky, I see the
Thanks,
request
man.
as well. So have a good week, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one.